So don't panic, you're just going to get a little bit of me, and then I'm going to go down and see if I can find Ida doing her goat impression. It's very hot, so she might not actually be out grazing at the moment, but I thought I'd go and have a look, and we could go and have a look at the chickens. I saw Hugh Fernley Whittenstall on Twitter wanting a petition signed um, for the government to sort out the food chain for soy. And it's not a story I know about, but it just occurred to me. I had a look, I googled to see where soy comes from, and most of it comes from Brazil. And I just thought, surely it's time now to start adapting and eating local food, rather than shipping food and with all the cost of that, the oil and the pollution. I was thinking that container ships and cruise ships and those big ships are incredibly polluting. So I just was a bit surprised. I mean, there may be more behind the story, but just a bit surprised, really, that he's not shouting about local food and adapting, because we really do need to adapt um, to local food and food that we can source easily, rather than trying to bring food in from faraway places. And a friend of mine put a picture on her Facebook page yesterday, profile yesterday. She'd picked up a bottle of Ukrainian sunflower oil, which is great, because there's a oil shortage and sunflower oil shortage, and really pleased that um, goods from Ukraine are getting through, and that's revenue for somebody over there. But somebody questioned in her comments, well, what about French sunflower oil? And I'm thinking that maybe the stocks of French sunflower oil have been, um, there's a word for it which I can't remember, but maybe the stocks have been depleted now, and you now need to wait for the next harvest. Well, we haven't even got sunflowers in the fields yet, so that's not going to be yet. And it got me thinking, what would you use if you hadn't got oil? If you can't get, somebody said I couldn't get oil in Tesco's, and I'm sure there's lots of places where you can't now buy oil. I notice in my local Intermarché that there isn't any oil. Um, what would you use instead? Because when I was young, we didn't have cooking oil in the same sense that we do now. There was olive oil, but olive oil used to come in a small bottle and was sold by a chemist, and it was sold for medical purposes. So my mum used to heat it, heat it in a teaspoon and shove it in my ear if I'd got earache. I don't know whether that's why I'm now deaf at certain levels, because it's nerve. They said when I had an MRI years and years ago, I think it was in Devon, I can't remember, but they said that I'd got nerve damage. It might have been Kent. Nerve damage in my one of my ears, and couldn't tell me why that would be. And I'm thinking, I wonder whether the oil was too hot. And worryingly, I did the same thing to my niece when she'd got really bad earache. So I hope I didn't damage her hearing. Um, so yes, oil. What would you use? What would you use instead? Um, I'm not going to say what we used to use. I'll wait and see what you say. But there are alternatives. And yeah, it's time to start thinking about what can I use instead, and thinking about alternatives. Right, so what else? Was there anything else? If there's anything else, I'll come back. But for now, we're going to head down and see what's going on in the chicken coop, and see Ida and see the chicks. And I'll pause you so I don't have to walk you down the garden and shake you. I thought she'd actually be in the shed. She's got a dreadlock. Bit that got missed. Didn't you? You got a bit that got missed. And there's no chance of us getting that off, really, unless she's having a scritch one time and being a little less careful. But look how slim she looks now. It's very hot out here today, so she, I was going to come and do this when it had cooled down, but actually she seems to be doing okay. I'm surprised that she's not. I imagined that the shelter would have been a bit risky. Not that that's where she ended up yesterday. She ended up in the chicken coop, didn't you? Huh? It was quite funny. I managed to get her in there, and it was only 3:30, and I knew that Ludo wasn't probably going to be here till, I don't know, 6:30. But it's a case of when you can, and taking the opportunity, and so that's what I did. So there was a Brahma hen in there laying an egg, and she was very unhappy. So there was lots of squawking for a long time, and her bleating. I could hear her bleating. I heard her having a go at the door, but I kept saying to myself, because she was in the shelter anyway, keeping cool. So I thought, she's in the shade, she's not in the sun, she's got food if she wants it, because I put food down that would tempt her in. The chicken's fine, the chicken's got food and water. So I didn't worry about them, because I just thought, well, they're safe. And so I didn't get worried about all the squawking and the noise. Mark noticed her last night after she'd been shorn. He noticed her shove her nose in the red bowl that's got water in down there. Well, we have never seen her drink. As far as we're concerned, the sheep have never drunk water. So that was a bit intriguing. I'm going to move nearer and see what she does. But I don't want you to get up. There's no need to get up. How's that dreadlock? Huh? Too sleepy. Okay, let's go and see what's going on with the sheep. The chickens. Very hot chickens. He's got his beak open. I forgot opened the wrong door this morning, so they've been out in this run, but that's too bad. But I didn't want them to free range, that's for sure. So, are you laying an egg again? So this is the Brahma hen that got caught in here with Ida yesterday. But she's not looking. That's not a broody look. That's a sorting out to lay an egg look. At least I hope so. She did lay an egg yesterday. So we had eggs for dinner, actually. You're a scrawny looking pair, you get expat girls, aren't you? Huh? Scrawny? Huh? Right, let's go and have a look at Mrs. Broody and her chicks, who are coming out more and more into the larger part of the run. Yeah, she's here already, look. Hello. How are you doing? And I don't have to put food down on the floor, because I know that they can get into the feeder, so I'm not going to do that. I do wonder how the chick with the one eye is. Be intriguing, wouldn't it, to see if his or her eye has opened, but she's going to go into the corner and make them go underneath her just to avoid me. Protect you from the predator, eh? Is that your plan? Huh? They're thinking, oh, Mum, do we have to? It's too hot. So the one in front of her, right next close to her, will be the chick I hatched, I think, because it's smaller than the other two. It'll be quite a while before I'll be able to pick it up and check it out one day. It's very protective. I'm pleased. That's really good that she's so protective of her babies. It'd be so nice for them to get back in with her especially, to get back in with the rest of the flock. Hey. Hold on a minute. That eye, or is it the other eye? Oh, well, the chick that I was talking about, the one at nearest me, has got both eyes. I'm sure that's the one that I hatched because it's smaller, so that's good. I mean, I bathed it and put coconut oil on it, didn't I? Just a tiny bit. Although there's a chick there that's looking quite big. That's I can't tell. Oh, that's good. Not gonna have one eye. Hey. Okay, pausing. So this is the fleece. And as you saw yesterday, it's quite light in patches where it's been on the outside. Very wiry. It's soft, but it's very wiry. I've got a feeling that people have said that it's got short fibres. I mean, I don't know because I don't spin wool. So in this state, it's called raw, and I've put it on a for sale site, so for free, obviously, for somebody to have. And I'm hoping that the person that had it last time will see it because I can't remember who it was. They're hoping to come out or wanted to come out, but they can't. Not until I get my decoy bird. Hey, and then hopefully that will be enough. I don't really want to risk it. It's so difficult. So difficult. So I'm watching. I found a couple of new channels, which is nice on YouTube. One is of an American couple moving or leaving everything behind and going to work out where they want to live rather than, you know, so they're moving possibly to Europe, and it was really lovely. They were in northern Portugal. They'd met up with their sons who already live in Europe, and they were in northern Portugal, and it was really lovely watching them eat real food and their faces as they ate just the beautiful food that they'd been given was a picture. You know, it's just the food in Europe is just so lovely. And I mean, I've forgotten. Well, I haven't forgotten, but, you know, obviously I don't have that same experience quite. Although we do sometimes when we go out, you know, sometimes we sit and think and have something and it's like, oh, wow, that's amazing, you know. So I'm going to start watching them. I've watched their first video and it's very well done. But they have a son who lives in Paris who has a massive YouTube following. Enough to enable him to buy his apartment in Paris. And I don't know what the content of his YouTube was before. The ongoing content, or the going forward, is going to be him renovating his apartment in Paris. It's a very, very good spot where he is because he won't show us the view. He said, if I show you what I can see, you'll know where I live. And I don't, you know, privacy reasons, I don't want people coming to see me, understandably. So I put links into those because you might be interested. The other thing, oh yes, it's me. The other thing is the lunar eclipse dawn chorus vlog. For its first day, it didn't really do much. It was about normal, which was fine, you know. And then all of a sudden, I noticed today that the graph that shows in my analytics, the graph had suddenly gone like that, and I couldn't work out why that would be. It's, you know, I can't remember what it had done, but it was just climbing and climbing, and it's still climbing. You know, it's getting like, I don't know, about 18 views an hour, which is a lot for my vlogs. And I hadn't even tagged it. I'd put the title, and I put the title, and I put the title in the description. I put the title in the SEO tags, but that was it. I hadn't done anything else. But it's just taken off and I don't understand it. So I messaged Phil and I said, this is intriguing. Oh, and I've got 7 subscribers, new subscribers as well on it. And I said, this is intriguing. I wonder what's going on. And he just put YouTube. And that is the thing about YouTube. It's like there is no rhyme or reason sometimes for things to happen. And I'm just intrigued. But then I love stats. And there's plenty of stats for me to look at on my analytics on my channel. So I just love stats. And um, so that's why I look. I filled in all my forms for AdSense so that the money I'm due will come into my bank account, and then I can start paying out my money to um, charities or refugees, which was my plan. I've already given 60 of it to my friend Amity, who's got 2 families from Ukraine living with her. And once the money goes into the account, I'll send her some more money. But I had to fill in, the US tax forms and obviously register it as a business and whatever. So I've done all of that. So eventually the money should go into the bank account and I can start enjoying gifting it, because that is going to be really enjoyable, to be able to gift it to without it coming out of, I mean, we've always given to charity and we support and sponsor people and lots of that, but to be able to just have this money that is specifically for that, and to use it to gift charities or refugees, feels really good. I don't have to sort of think, "Oh, I can't help you at the moment, it's not the end of it's not payday," and things like that. I won't have to do that, so that's really good. Okay, might be a bit more Ida. I'm just going to go up and see, because she's moved. Well, she hasn't moved much. She was came down towards me, but um, it's obviously not her plan. She must be so much more comfortable. Okay, see you next time.